So let me just cut to the chase. In this video, I want to show you exactly how you can sign SMMA clients in 2021. The old way of going about acquiring clients for your agency simply doesn't work anymore, right? Having a cold email script, having a cold DM script that you just send out at mass scale does not work in 2021, yet so many people are still trying to make that work, and that's why you're just not able to see any new clients come on board for your agency consistently. I'm gonna go through a 3-step process that will enable you to sign clients consistently in any SMMA niche in 2021. So with that being said, let's just jump straight into it. So before I dive into the specifics of this new strategy, this new approach to signing SMMA clients for your agency, I want to talk about the idea of why right now you're not able to sign any clients. And the reason is not necessarily because of what you're saying in your DM script or what you're saying in your emails, right? The true reason as to why you're not able to sign clients on a consistent basis is simply because you're offering the same thing that every other agency in your space is offering to the same ideal client, and you're also presenting it to the ideal client in the exact same way, right? Picture this for a second. Let's assume that you are the client, right? You're not the agency owner, you're the client, and you run a gym, for example, right? Or you run an e-commerce business, whatever it is, and you get sent anywhere from 10 to 20 emails, DMs, whatever it may be, each and every day, right? From agency owners. And every single message is offering the same thing. It's the same service. It's Facebook ads. It's, whatever it is, right? It's the same thing that every single person is offering. Would you choose one of those messages to respond to hop on a call with, and to pay $4,000 a month, $5,000 a month, $2,000 a month, $10,000 a month to? No, you probably wouldn't choose any of them. You probably open the message and just put it into spam. Open the message and just delete it. Never think about that message ever again. So what makes you think you're going to be able to sign clients by continuing that approach? And so the first thing that you ought to change, especially in 2021, as the agency space, the SMMA space is becoming more and more popular. I wouldn't say saturated, because it's not saturated by any means, but it is becoming more popular. The first thing that you need to change is your offer. Now, how do you change your offer so it's more appealing to the client? Well, there's one way for you to change it that will instantly change the results you'll generate, and that is the mechanism in which you leverage. So hear me out on this. Now, pretty much every single business out there has been pitched Facebook ads, right? Hey, we'll run your Facebook ads. We can scale your business by using Facebook ads, right? Every single business out there, I don't care what the niche is, every single business out there has heard that same pitch. So the number one way for you to instantly change results by implementing on nothing else I go through in this video, just this point here, is change your unique mechanism, right? Which you leverage in order to get client results. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you need to change your service offering. So that doesn't, if you do run Facebook ads for clients and you crush it, it doesn't mean that you then now need to go ahead and start offering TikTok ads.
Figure 8.
Even though that is another mechanism, you just want to package Facebook ads up in a way that isn't Facebook ads, right? On the front end, at least. You can deliver the results by virtue of offering Facebook ads. But remember, when it comes to sales in really any industry, you never want to sell what the client needs. You want to sell what the client wants, because oftentimes the two differ. What the client wants is not what they actually need. If the client has a huge problem in their business, oftentimes they think that they need this thing over here, when in reality, they actually need this thing over here to truly fix the problem. But the client doesn't think that, right? So you need to sell them what they want, and then you need to deliver what it is that they actually need. So maybe they actually do need Facebook ads, but what I want you to understand is that they don't want to pay another agency for Facebook ads. They don't want to hear another Facebook ad pitch, right? So the number one way for you to, as I say, instantly change your results that you're seeing is by virtue of offering a unique mechanism. And the reason I wanted to go through that point first is because you could implement on everything we're about to go through. Here in this video, I'm actually going to be sharing my screen here and showing you this diagram. You could implement on all of this, but if you're offering the same thing that everybody else is offering, the client is going to take no interest in you whatsoever, because they've had 10 other emails, 10 other messages, whatever it is, that same day offering the exact same thing. So you're not going to stand out in any way, shape, or form. And so now that you're offering something different to what everybody else is offering, now we move on to step 2. Now, step 2 is for you to stop thinking about outreach in a linear perspective, right? Everybody thinks about outreach like this, right? They send an email here, right? They send it to a prospect, and then the prospect will book in a call here. Now, in the current state that the market is in, the current state that the industry is in, this just does not work anymore. It's as simple as that, right? It's going to be very, very difficult for you to just send an email, right? Or send a DM or send a message, whatever it is, right? Basically have an initial touch point by some means, and then instantly be able to get that person to book in a call, right? Just by virtue of that one email. It's gonna be very, very difficult for you to do that, as I say, in this industry right now, because again, it is getting more popular and more people are sending more emails, more messages than ever to these businesses. And again, if you just do the same thing that everybody else is doing, you're gonna see the same results that everybody else is getting. And so now in your outreach, you need to start thinking more from a circular perspective. That is the worst circle I've ever drawn. I apologize, but that is the perspective that you need to start thinking from. Now, what does this mean? Well, what it essentially means is having more of a funnel to your outbound efforts, to your client acquisition efforts. Let me use this analogy because this will really drill home my point. Imagine you was to sign on a client for your agency, right? And you only ran top of funnel ads for that client, right? Which is essentially ads that create that first touch point. And what I want you to realize as well is emails, outbound prospecting, whatever it may be, is identical to Facebook ads, right? The email is making the first touch point. The outbound message is making the first touch point. It's the same thing with ads, right? Your top of funnel ad is just making the first touch point. You're just doing it through a different medium. That's the only thing that changes. So picture this, if you was to sign on a client and you only ran top of funnel ads for that client, do you really think that you're gonna have the best chance of getting them the best possible results that you can get them if you only ran top of funnel ads? No, of course not. And everybody watching this right now, if you've had clients in the past or you're currently got a client roster, you'd think that's idiotic. You're like, no, of course. Obviously, you need retargeting to be running in your advertising efforts in order to really squeeze and eke out the best possible results, right? Because the best numbers, the best ROAS always comes from retargeting. So if you didn't have retargeting running, you're going to be leaving a tremendous amount of money on the table, right? But now when I talk about retargeting in terms of outreach, people are like, wait, what? What do you mean? Right? Because what people do in outreach, and this is another huge reason as to why people are struggling to sign clients, is simply because people are only doing top of funnel, right? People are only sending emails one time. And again, emails, Facebook ads, DMs on social, they all are the same thing. They're making those touch points, right? And if you don't follow up, you don't have a more of a circular approach to your client acquisition efforts, then you're only running top of funnel. That's all you're doing. And that's the reason why you're not able to see the best results possible, because it's like you sign in on a client and only running top of funnel ads for them. You're just not going to get the best possible results that you could. And so this is now where this idea comes into play, right? This like diagram here, if you like, this is exactly why I created this, because this shows you exactly the approach that you ought to be taking in 2021 to sign SMMA clients. It's not a matter of sending one email anymore and getting book calls. It's just not going to work, because again, this is only top of funnel, right? What you want to be doing now is implementing on this type of idea. Number one, you want to be acquiring attention. This is the number one thing always, no matter what you're doing, emails, DMs, ads, whatever it may be, you want to be gaining attention, right? And you're going to gain that attention by virtue of content, both video and written form, right? So you may still send emails, which is perfect. You're gaining that attention. You're gaining that top of funnel attention. And from that attention, you then want to look at building an audience, right? You can build this audience on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, wherever it may be, but you want to look at building an audience, and you want to nurture that audience by virtue of providing a solution to the problem that this specific audience is facing. Right? If this specific audience right here is facing this huge issue, and then you start to provide content and nurture that audience in terms of providing a solution to that huge issue, guess what? We can then start to look at our CTAs, right? We can start to look at our pitches. And once a prospect can truly see and understand that, number one, you are a true expert, right? And number two, you can actually solve their biggest problem right now. Well, guess what? Now when you make the pitch for the call, right? Now, when you ask that prospect to book in a call, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna take you up on it. But that's only after they've been through this funnel, if you like, right here. Now, what most agency owners are doing, and this is what I see a lot in the space right now, is this is just non-existent. They're trying to do this approach, right? They're trying to just be this linear approach, right? One email and then book call. And they're like, why am I not getting any book calls? Well, it's like, because you're missing this entire section right here, which is so important now more than ever to getting booked calls. This essentially acts as your conversion mechanism. This is the process which converts somebody from a completely random stranger and converts them into a prospect who's eager to buy from you, who wants what you're selling, right? Now, if this is non-existent, then you can imagine why your results are so low right now. You can imagine why it's so difficult for you to sign clients, because you're just not converting anyone, right? You're trying to sell a complete stranger on booking in a call. And even just think about this for a minute, right? If you was to buy something from someone, right? How long did it take you to make that purchasing decision? What things did you need to have in order before you came to the conclusion in your mind that, yes, I'm going to buy from this person, or this person is the one that's going to take me from where I'm at right now to whatever the goal is, whether it is in business, whether it is in your personal life, whatever, right? How long did it take for you to go through that process and think, yes, this is the person that I need in order to take me to where I want to go? Most of the time, it's much longer than one email or one message, right? Or one cold call. Most of the time, it's going to be maybe 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, but it's longer than that one message. Yet when you're doing your outbound prospecting for client acquisition for your agency, you're sending just one message and expecting somebody to buy from you straight away. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Just recently, I dropped $50,000 on a mastermind. $50,000 on a mastermind. And I believe I was following the person for maybe 5-6 months, I think, which is pretty short in my opinion to then go ahead and drop $50,000. But I still spent 5 to 6 months before I made that decision. Now, I understand that when you're signing clients on for your agency, you're not selling something that's $50,000 one-time upfront fee, right? I understand that, but the same concept does apply. And so I know this video wasn't specifically about what to say in this line of your email and this line of your message and do this and then do that and then do that. But quite frankly, that stuff does not matter, right? Really, it doesn't matter, right? The specifics don't matter. It's the overarching process. It's the frameworks that you leverage. That's truly what matters. And in 2021, now more than ever, implementing on this video is so important if you truly want to start signing more clients and do it more consistently for your agency. So guys, as always, if you found value in this video, please go ahead, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know if you have any other specific questions, any other issues in regards to this video. Drop them in the comments below and I'll be sure to answer them. And I may even create a separate video if I see a consistent question coming up, just so that you guys can truly start signing more clients at a more consistent rate. So with that being said, I will see you in the next video.